What's up, YouTube? This is Atticus from The Complete Trade, and today we're going to be taking a look at Coinbase stock. Now, if you recall a few weeks ago, back in episode 9 or 10, we talked about the domino effect of BlackRock choosing Coinbase to be its Bitcoin and Ethereum custodian, where other investment firms were going to follow BlackRock's footsteps and choose Coinbase to be its Bitcoin custodian as well. Now, here is an article published by CoinDesk that illustrates our point that Coinbase is dominating the custodial services industry for Bitcoin ETFs. I explained what a Bitcoin and Ethereum custodian were back in episode 9 or 10, so go check that out if you want. Now, taking a look at the article, this chart does a great job illustrating our point that there was going to be a domino effect as a result of BlackRock choosing Coinbase to be its Bitcoin custodian. Because as we can see, other investment firms are also choosing Coinbase to be its Bitcoin custodian, like Grayscale, ARK, Bitwise, WisdomTree, Invesco, Valkyrie, Global X, and Franklin Templeton. Now, this chart needs to be updated because 24 hours after this article was published, Pando, a Swiss asset management company, also filed for a Bitcoin ETF and chose Coinbase to be its Bitcoin custodian. Now, quoting Bloomberg Intelligence's ETF analyst James Seyfarth, apologies if I butchered that last name, I think Coinbase is the most obvious solution on the custodian side, and it makes sense that they're the most common. Okay, with that being said, let's jump into the charts. Okay, so just a quick refresher, Coinbase is trading in Wycoff accumulation. Actually, Coinbase is breaking out of Wycoff accumulation. We're in phase D, forming our initial SOS, which stands for sign of strength. A few videos ago, we were talking about how an early indication of a sign of strength was breaking above our final Wyckoff resistance level at $116.30. And now, Coinbase stock is pushing much higher. Our short-term targets and long-term targets remain the same. Our short-term price target for Coinbase stock is at $150, which is where the cluster of 61.8% Fibonacci retracements and trend-based fib extensions are all located. Our long-term price targets still span between $430 and $2,156. $430 is the price target of the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and $2,156 is the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement between the extremities on the Coinbase stock chart. So moving into some indicators, specifically the RSI and the MACD, we can see that the weekly RSI is in the overbought region for the first time in the stock's history, which is very bullish. Just remember that it is common for the weekly RSI to be in the overbought region in a bull market. Moving into the MACD, there is no weekly bearish divergence on the signal line. A bit of bearish divergence is present on the histogram, but that's about to be negated with the next weekly open. So I don't see any long-term bearish indications on the indicators. Now, moving into the daily time frame, the daily RSI has printed its highest RSI reading in the stock's history. The RSI is an indicator that measures momentum and strength. A few minutes ago, we just talked about how Coinbase stock was forming its initial sign of strength. So the RSI indicator reaching its highest point in the stock's history is a fantastic bullish sign for the bull market. That being said, in the short term, realize that the RSI indicator at the end of the day is an oscillator that will rotate between the extremities. In the short term, perhaps there will be pullbacks in price, allowing the daily RSI to cool off, but we're very confident that both our short-term and long-term projections will play out. Okay, so let's talk about volatility. So in previous videos, we talked about the importance of Coinbase stock crossing these light green Fibonacci rings. We talked about how Fibonacci rings were an indication that a major move was on the horizon. Remember back in June of this year when Coinbase stock crossed the previous Fibonacci ring, Coinbase stock almost tripled in price. Coinbase recently has crossed another Fibonacci ring, and since then, Coinbase is up nearly 50%. Moving into the Volatility Expansion Index, a few weeks ago we talked about the importance of the Volatility Expansion Index crossing above its gray moving average, indicating that we would see a spike in volatility. And so far that has come true, with the Volatility Expansion Index printing a volatility reading at 78%. Okay, so we'll close things off by taking a look at the Coinbase against Bitcoin valuation. This was a very important week for the Coinbase against Bitcoin valuation because for the first time in the chart's history, we have closed above the orange 100 weekly moving average. Once again, this is another very, very, very bullish sign. On top of that, we have the bullish weekly bottom tweezer pattern. We also have a bullish 2-week hammer and the 3-week morning star reversal pattern. We also reclaimed the blue Fibonacci retracement support area, as well as the white 1-to-1 trend-based fib extension. And on top of all that, we broke out of a bullish falling wedge, and currently we are completing our bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern. Everything on this chart is screaming much higher for the incoming bull market, and the Coinbase against Bitcoin valuation is most likely going to have a date in the red Fibonacci retracement resistance area at some point. Okay, so that's my analysis on Coinbase stock for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.